Marion County Trail could be the best value in bourbon-themed travel in Kentucky. You'll experience one of the Kentucky Bourbon Trail's crown jewels, one of the Bourbon Trail Craft Tour's top-rated stops, and something you can't find anywhere else. Organized tours of a bourbon barrel manufacturing facility, all in one place. It's the Marion County Trail. Take your time to tour, dine, shop, and stay all along the way. Explore world-famous Maker's Mark, a hot ticket item on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Limestone Branch Distillery, home of world-famous Yellowstone bourbon, and one of the top-rated stops on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail Craft Tour. Kentucky Cooperage, the sprawling plant where the thriving bourbon industry's barrels are hand-built and seared with fire for bourbon aging flavor. And Lebanon, home of wonderful dining opportunities from home-cooked to chef-driven. Unique shopping opportunities, nowhere else to be found murals for your selfies, and overnight accommodations that range from traditional to bed and breakfast to bourbon-themed. Go to visitlebanonky.com for more details. Lebanon Tourist and Convention Commission, 270-692-0021.
It's the Bow Brothers for Two Shots on a Barrel. We can't thank you enough for joining in and listening to our show today. We do want to remind you, go out there and give us a review. Isn't that important, J-Bo?
It's very important for us to grow and to reach a larger audience, so please do it for us.
We got a cool thing out on Facebook. We got a Facebook group you can join. You can follow along with all kinds of crazy stuff that you put out there.
That's just the way it is. It's fun. It's good times. It's private, so we don't share anything off that page. It's strictly right there on Two Shots on a Barrel fan page.
Yeah, another cool thing we had some fantastic sponsors we'll showcase throughout the show today, and we want to appreciate and show our respect for all of those. And for more information on that, you'll be able to catch the ad or go to our Facebook page and check those out. There you go. All right, it's without further ado, Two Shots on a Barrel podcast.
Two old boys ain't much for working. 2 shots on a barrel and they're talking about bourbon. Talking about a few other things that they don't know. If you've got a question, no need to ask. They don't have a clue, so raise your glass. Take a sip with the Bowl Brothers. Now it's on with the show. From the heart of central Kentucky, the bourbon capital of the world, it's Two Shots on a Barrel with your host, a couple of hot shots of their own, the Bow Brothers.
Oh, back in the saddle, J-Bo, back in the Two Shot studio. Man, I've got, did I tell you about, every time I hear Terry Wooly singing our intro song.
Is that who's doing that?
Yeah, yep. Terry, do you know Terry?
I do not know Terry, but he works over at Crystal, doesn't he?
Yes.
And he was a big time back in the day.
He was. Great guy. And I think I told Jeremy this story, but it was probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He reached out to me and he said, I've got a couple of guitars I want to give you. I was like,
really?
Are you serious? So one of them is he's a big Alvarez guitar guy.
Okay.
I'm not sure if
That's
you're
what
a musician.
I've got.
Okay.
I've got an Alvarez.
So he's an Alvarez guy. And the one that he probably has been in the show, which, he doesn't do as many shows as he used to. But the one that, hang on here. Yeah, okay. The one that he's done most of his acoustic sets in probably the last 15, 20 years is an Alvarez Professional Series that's got his signature, Terry Woolley, on it. Yeah. And he's like, man, I want you to have that guitar.
No way.
And I was like, are you? And he said, yeah, and I've got another one that I had taken to a lot of shows because he said I was doing a lot of shows that were for the veterans.
Yeah.
And so he said, I've probably got about 150, 200 veterans that have autographed this guitar from these shows. And he said, I want to give that to you. And I was like, man, that's the coolest thing ever. And then I was talking to Jeremy, and I was like, Jeremy, you don't think he's dying, do you? It scared me. I mean, because he's giving me, we're talking like legitimate I'm like
heirlooms.
I'm like,
yeah. Did you call and ask him if he's
no,
right?
but I mean, after I guess
now he's probably laughing.
Well, I mean, but he texted me a week or so ago, and he's like, man, I've got those guitars out. He said, after the new year, I'm going to be bringing those over to you.
Okay.
And they're going to go in the Two Shot studio. I mean,
they'll look awesome in here, man.
He did our jingles for our show. I mean, we've got a place. We got a place for those.
Look, if he's going to do that, he's got to do a show with us too.
He does. You know, we were going to have him on, and he got sick and wasn't able to do it. But I said we're going to get him on.
That'd be awesome to talk to him about all the things that he's done and the people he's played with.
Oh yeah, I mean some of his stories that he's told.
Like I think you were telling me at when we did the 24-hour food drive.
Yeah,
you were telling me some of his stories, and you were telling me about how he was just off the cuff,
making it big.
Right.
Like, I think I told the story about Merle Haggard.
Yeah,
where Merle
you did
was.
Tell me that.
You know, he was opening for Merle, and you know, so Merle's sitting on like the corner of the stage watching Terry, and so as Terry comes off, he's like, "Man, you're not supposed to one up the lead act." And that's how, you know.
How do you one up Merle Haggard?
How do you one up Merle Haggard? But but a great guy. We're going to get him on. But I was floored by that. We're hanging out.
If you do, can I sit over here in the bullshit
corner?
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. That's what we need, J-Bo. That's what that chair is for.
Yes,
that's we got a new chair in the studio. It's over in the bullshit shit corner. Contrary to what Jeremy Bowman says, I am not the bullshit guy.
Well, you're right in front of it, so I figured that's your corner.
I don't even have a corner. I've got a side.
Well, if you all have him on, I would like to come be the bullshit. I'd like to sit because I would like to hear his stories. That would be
we're gonna get him.
Will,
on.
you can come in anytime you want.
I am not a musician, but the whole. You know, the Merle Haggard, the Waylon Jennings, the Johnny Cash stories, and the
John Fogerty. He's got a great John Fogerty story.
I mean, all those guys. It's so amazing to me. My wife and I went to Nashville, and you know, Broadway is so commercialized now. But you walk around Broadway and you look at the places that used to be there.
Mm-hmm. Printer's Alley.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the history down there. You know, it's all bright lights and stuff, and I'm sure it was back in the day too. But you know, we went to Eric. I'm a big Eric Church guy.
Same.
But we went there and into different bars, and some of the new ones down there. We went to Morgan Wallen's bar, which was pretty neat. I paid $22 for a double of Buffalo Trace, which is my preferred.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I like Buffalo Trace. But
so you paid for a bottle.
I basically paid for a bottle, but the band was really good.
It didn't matter.
And you know, it was you know, Morgan Wallen's is one of the new places down there, so it was packed. It was on a Thursday night. We went down to see For King and Country, the Christian band. Oh, if you
did you go this year to For King and Country?
Yeah, we went this past Friday night.
Oh, you went this year.
Man, I'm telling you what, if you've never been to a For King and Country show,
no, listen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, true story, J-Bo. For King and Country was at the Yum Center. What was it, Will? Back in
it was
November, December, or whatever. And I'm going to tell you, for those of people out there that are not into contemporary Christian music, you don't have to be to go to see For King and Country and be absolutely floored,
blown
away. And I'm like you, Will. I'm sure you've gone to a lot of different concerts, and I'm going to tell you, you will not find one that I've been to, at least, that was. I mean, it was. How do you describe it? I mean, it was incredible.
Well, this was in what? It was in October, November when I saw you there.
Yes.
October, November, and it's getting towards the end of the concert, and I looked over at my wife, and I was like, "You think they're going to play Little Drummer Boy? If you've not saw Little Drummer Boy, if you've not saw their version of it, you're missing something."
Pretty awesome.
And she goes, "There's no way they're going to play Little Drummer Boy in November."
And
they played it.
Oh yeah.
And I get this smile across my face. And she was like, "What? You look like a fool." And I'm like, "I can't help it. It just makes me happy."
Yeah.
Right. And so and this was the actual. We went down. Every year we go down to the Grand Ole Opry, and they play. And they're going to be there next year it's the Little Drummer Boy Christmas. And it's amazing. It's amazing how great of entertainers they are.
Incredible story, number one.
Oh yeah.
You know, when you talk about the St. John family,
right.
and just if you've seen the movie,
yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
I haven't.
Unsung Heroes.
Unsung Heroes. And by the way, man, we could make a show talking about For King and Country,
yes.
Will. But
heck, they would probably come on the show. They seem like such regular guys.
Oh my gosh, you know, they live in Nashville. Their sister Rebecca St. James. I said St. John.
Yeah.
Rebecca St. James.
Huge Christian artist.
No, wait a minute. Their last name's St. John.
Smallbone.
Smallbone. Where,
Joel, I think
St.
Joel,
James. That's what got me confused. Because it was Rebecca St. James. Yeah,
I guess I'm sure they cover that in the movie. But
yeah,
she hit it big first. Apparently.
Oh yeah, J-Bo.
I'll check them out tonight.
Have we sold you on it?
Sold me.
Unsung hero. You got it.
They're so talented. I mean, just
really,
and so charismatic.
Jim's talked about them forever.
And I don't know if you, but the snare drums. They play the huge bass drum, like the lead singer, plays the bass drum during the concert. And then the second guy, Luke, the taller brother, plays that snare drum. And now his little boy, his son, is the actual little drummer boy.
Oh wow!
I mean, I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
My wife is like, I appreciate you taking me to these concerts. I know you don't like it, and I'm secretly going, can we go back next year?
Yeah.
When can we get tickets?
Let's go.
Yeah, they are incredible.
Yeah. We'll have to get some tickets.
Well, with that, For King and Country, definitely. We're hanging out with Will Knight. So what is, I kind of kidded you when you were here on our first episode, talking about the Marion County Event Center and Sportsplex, that your title was executive director. What is your title?
I don't think there's an executive in there. I think it's just director.
Mm-hmm. I like my version better.
Yeah, I do too. I definitely like executive director better. But if anybody knows me, I am not an executive by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just kind of a I'm pretty. You see what you get what you see.
Open book.
Are you an old country boy? Would you describe yourself as an old country boy?
I am from Adair County. I don't know if you've been to Columbia very often, but it's a lot smaller than Marion County where we live now. So I grew up 12 miles outside of that on a tobacco farm.
So you are a good old country boy.
I am a good old country boy, so I don't do a lot of the fishing and the hunting and stuff because that's just not my thing. But yeah, I grew up on a farm, raising cattle and raising tobacco, and so yeah, I'm a good old country boy.
So you are retired from is it fair to say the prison industry or prison system? Prison system is probably better than industry. Yeah. I didn't work for the privates there. That's a prison industry, but I worked for the Kentucky Department of Corrections, which I'm very proud of. Yeah. My wife and I lived in California when we left Western Kentucky University, which I'm a proud hilltopper. When we moved, she got an internship with IBM. And that's one of those things that you don't even have to be smart, which she is very smart.
Very.
But if you tell people you worked in California at IBM, they automatically think you're smarter than most people. It's impressive. And we joke about that all the time. We moved back here, and people are like, "Well, where'd you work?" Well, I worked at IBM. Well, you're top shelf.
Yeah.
And she is very smart. And then love of my life.
Yeah,
obviously. We got 3 kids together, and then we have a niece and nephew that live with us. So we've got 5 kids. We're a big circus, and anytime we go anywhere, we have to pack the big top. But yeah, I mean, it's how I ended up in Marion County is really just by accident. I DJ'd at Fergie's. If anybody's from Marion County,
you were telling me some of great stories about Fergie's.
We won't tell those on here. But I worked security. I was a bouncer, and I was a DJ at Fergie's, and then we moved to California. I met her at Western, and my version of that and her version of that are completely different. But I was the great guy that she just missed out on. That's not her version. I'll put it that way. But
so do you guys? You both attended Western.
Yeah, I met her.
And you guys. So that's actually when you all first met.
Yeah, we met, and I fell in love with her at that time. But how dudes usually do. We make mistakes.
You were just too cool.
Yeah, and I let her get away. And so I'm DJing at Fergie's one night up here, and I'm sitting there and I'm rocking it, man. I'm got playing Footloose and all kinds of stuff. And, you just if you ever got to Fergie's, I mean it was a party.
Yeah.
So you could play anything and somebody would dance to it. But I feel a tap on my shoulder, up in the DJ booth. And Jeremy's probably familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and it's my wife. And I'm like, what in the heck? That's not what I said. I said, what in the heck are you doing here? And she goes, what are you doing here? And I was like, I work here. And she goes, well, I live here. And I was like, you want to go out next weekend? She was like, yes.
That quick.
That quick.
You're like, this is not going to happen again. This one, she's not getting away from me.
Yep. I was like, I've thought about her ever since I met her. And I was like, yep. And
wow,
we've been together ever since, man. But the next weekend we went to Danville and saw Titanic. So I don't know.
Holy cow. Holy cow.
I don't know how great of an omen that is, but we haven't sunk yet. So
That's funny.
That was a great love story, though.
yeah. So it's been a ride. We've been through. Every couple has their ups and downs, and our niece and nephew live with us now, and that has been a challenge. But like I said, when we travel, it's a big circus, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So
Sweetest kids you ever meet, all of them, everyone.
Oh yeah, very respect. Every time I've been around Will's kids, or let me rephrase. Every time I've been around Melissa's kids, they are very, very polite.
Well, you said that I worked in the prison system.
Well,
so,
yeah. Yeah.
He keeps them in line.
Yeah. No, that's.
I think that is I'm very proud of working for the Department of Corrections. When Melissa and I moved home, my dream was to be a Kentucky State Trooper. That's from the time I can remember. My dad was the jailer over in Adair County, and so he's always been involved in law enforcement. And my dream was to be a Kentucky State Trooper. I wanted to wear the gray uniform. And, well, when we moved home from California, after 9/11, it got really crazy out there. There were shootings, and everybody was worried about they were going to blow up the bridge, and all kinds of crazy, just half baked theories. And I said, I can't.
Let's get the heck out of here.
I said, let's go back to Kentucky. And my mom said, don't have my grandkids in California.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
So we moved back here. Neither one of us had jobs, and I tried to get on with the state police, and it's a much different than it is now. State police are always hiring. Back then, it was a very coveted job. And my dad, who was the jailer, he goes, well, why don't you go to LaGrange and get on at one of the prisons and go ahead and get into the retirement system? Probably the best advice I ever got, to be honest with you. I mean, the Department of Corrections is, not the most high profile branch of law enforcement in Kentucky, but it does a very, very important job, and it's not easy. And the men and women that work for the Department of Corrections are, a lot of them are just as honorable as any Kentucky State Trooper. Mm-hmm. They go in every day. They do their job. They treat people fairly, which is what it's all about. I mean, you want to go in there and you want to talk about, you get this. The movies portray prison guards. You look at Shawshank Redemption. The bad guys in the movie were the prison guards.
Yeah.
And I'm here. It's not like that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of men and women go in there every day and they do their job, and they treat the inmates fairly, and they treat them humanely, and they do a really. And I'm proud to have retired from the Department of Corrections.
So you did that for how many years, Will?
I did that for 23 years. I never made a lot of money, Jim.
Well, hey.
But it's a state job. I got great retirement.
Absolutely. I
got in under Tier 1 and got great retirement. So, I get a check from them every month, and my insurance for me and my kids are paid for, and nice. Now I get to start this second career that I'm so jacked up about.
So let's talk about the second career. The director of is what is going to be a fantastic facility here in Marion County, the Marion County Event Center and Sportsplex. I'm getting a little better with that.
The MCECS. I wish I could have come up with something better that spelled out something, but it's better than Marion County Multipurpose.
Okay, so I'm curious. You had recently retired.
Yep.
And how did this initial conversation go with Judge Daugherty? Like, was there somebody say, "Hey, you need to call Will Knight. He just retired. He'd be a great guy for this"? Or how did that come to be?
I don't really know. I retired in February. I didn't really have a plan, but I had time. And things were changing within the department. There was a leadership change, and you know how that goes. So I was like, hey, it's time to get out. I've got time. Mm-hmm. I've got my time in. Other people. I wasn't an executive with the Department of Corrections or anything, but I was the state commander for the hostage and crisis negotiation team.
Oh, wow.
I was a hostage negotiator. I trained I worked with the FBI, I worked with Louisville Metro Police, worked with Lexington Police Department. When I got that position, it really expanded my view of everything because it opened me up to these other agencies. Working with I worked with the FBI. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
I taught at their Crisis and Hostage Negotiation Academy. So it was very, very eye-opening to me that there's other things out there.
Yeah.
And I hated to leave, honestly, because I got to work with all these really cool people. And going to the Louisville field office of the FBI, and going and hanging out, and Jenny Richardson, who is she's her and her husband, FBI agent out of Louisville. They're really into bourbon. I'm hoping they come down for our bourbon soiree.
Heck yeah.
I got to hang out with. It's a lot different hanging out with those caliber of people that have been, all over the world and did these great things. She was on the team that negotiated out in, when the people took over that national park out in Oregon.
Oh.
She was on the team that negotiated with them for like 40 some days.
Wow.
So it's just neat talking to those kind of people. And I never did anything that cool. But I got to work with a lot of great people, and I got to teach a lot of people who are still in the department today and doing that crisis negotiation and hostage. We don't do a whole lot of hostage negotiation, thank goodness. But when you work for the Department of Corrections, your job is crisis negotiation. Those men and women that are incarcerated, they've lost everything. They've lost their families.
Yeah.
They get some of them get a lot of support, some of them get no support.
Right.
So they don't really have anything left to lose, and a lot of them make bad choices when they're in prison. And my teams were the people that went in and talked to them, and they were threatening to kill themselves or cut themselves, and my people were the ones that went in and talked to them, and most of the time we were successful. Sometimes we weren't, unfortunately, but that's just the nature of the job.
Right.
And, it was a very tough position, but a position that I could not tell you how appreciative I am that the Department of Corrections gave me, and that I was able to do. I created a basic academy that we had out at Western Kentucky at the National Guard base. I was on the team that created that. I was on the team that created a conference, and we had people from all over the country. We had people from L.A. that came in every year in Louisville or wherever we decided to have it, that came in and talked to all the negotiators for the Department of Corrections. And actually Louisville Metro would come to our conferences. The FBI would come to our conferences. Like, this is great. This is the only training we get. The federal government won't supply training to us. So we come to your conferences, the little Department of Corrections out of Kentucky.
Right.
People don't even think about that, but
That's impressive.
yeah.
All right, so I'm thinking about this. Hopefully, to goodness, we will never have to have a crisis or a hostage situation with our new facility.
Well, you think about it. This is the guy we need to take to some of these bars we go to.
Yeah.
The way you have a couple drinks and want to talk and run your mouth. This is the guy to get you out of trouble.
Do I like to do that?
I can see Jeremy doing that more than
Yeah. So here's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
What can you take from that experience and marry that to your new position as the director of the Sportsplex?
Honestly, I mean, you're what a hostage and crisis negotiator is at the end of the day is just being able to talk to people and being able to relate to people and find common ground so you can take their mind off of whatever action they're thinking about taking and bringing them over. It's displaying empathy and
Compassion.
and compassion, and using your active listening skills and open-ended questions, and all that stuff that you learned. If you've ever taken an active listening course, a lot of businesses provide active listening to their staff members, but that's really crisis and hostage negotiation. Just being able to sit there and kind of relate to people, and everybody's got their own style. My style, and I was in charge of this prison, Marion Adjustment Center, when it was here. I was the state monitor for the Department of Corrections. I was the state employee that was over. I worked with the warden and the deputy wardens, and kind of can run this prison here. And that's where I wasn't a hostage negotiator. I wasn't anything. And one night at about 2 a.m., I got a call and said, "Mr. Knight, we've got I think it was 18. I don't know the exact number, but I think it was like 18 inmates." It's when people could still smoke in prison. We've got 18 inmates that came out at the 2 o'clock smoke break, and they're refusing to go back in. They put masks on, and they're refusing to go back in. Can you come talk to them? I'm like, I don't know what in the heck I'm going to say, but I'm that's my job. So I've always been the kind of, if that's my job, I'm going to go do it. So I get there and I walk in, and I'm standing there and I'm talking to 18 guys that have underwear with eye holes cut out, over their face. And they're threatened to riot, and I'm standing there talking to them.
They're just out in an open area?
Well, they're caged in. They would have had to climb a fence to get to me.
Okay.
But I'm standing there talking to them, and I'm just reasoning with them, and I'm using all the skills that I've had a lot of training with the department, but I talked to him, and finally the leader of the pack, which was this huge guy, he was twice my size. Inmates, sometimes he's the proverbial inmate that you see in the movies, the huge guy that works out every day. And I'd had dealings with him in the past, so I knew exactly who he was, even though he had a mask on. And I talked to him, and I'm like, "Look, man," I was like, "this," I just talked to him, and it got down on a one-to-one level with him, and he said, "You know what, Mr. Knight, you've always been fair with me." He said, "If you say that we're going to be treated fairly," he said, "I'll talk to these guys and we'll try to cuff up." So within 20 minutes of me getting there, they had agreed to cuff up, and I had a team come down from one of the prisons. I think I called North Point, and I had the team come down from North Point and Marion Adjustment Center. They had a team there, and they cuffed him up. And the next day, I get a call from the commissioner, and I was like, I'm sending you to hostage and crisis negotiation training. I'm like, well, shit.
I mean, how hard is it to convince guys with underwear on their face to calm down? They're outstanding citizens, man.
It was a little unnerving, honestly. Even though I knew who the guy was, you're talking about the 18, 19 inmates that have ill intent.
Yeah,
they were upset over perceived issues within the facility. Maybe I agreed, maybe I disagreed, but I didn't even focus on that. It was more just talking to them
and seeing their side,
having empathy for walking in their shoes for a minute. I was able to do that, and so I slipped into this. I was the assistant commander for the hostage and crisis negotiation team for several years. I preferred to be walking in the background,
right?
And then had the people in front of me they moved on and became wardens and deputy wardens, and they asked me if I wanted to do it, and so I was the state commander for over 2 years. It was a great experience.
That's awesome, man. Proud of you.
This has been we really haven't talked the event center per se. This has been a great first segment of the show, though.
Will's a good dude. Hey, y'all didn't expect to come in here and talk about hostage.
Man, listen, this is good stuff.
Good.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back, and who knows what we'll talk about. I know there are some things that you guys are working together on that you want to talk about. So that is one of the things that we will get to, J-Bo, next after this break. So
sounds good.
Having fun, learning a lot of stuff. You never know what you're going to learn, J-Bo.
Never.
On Two Shots on a Barrel. We'll be right back. Exciting news for Two Shots on a Barrel. We have a brand new sponsor. Hey, this is Jimbo for Two Shots. Good Buddies Brewing Company, our newest sponsor. I got to tell you, they have it going on. Located in the heart of the bourbon country right here at 120 West Martin Luther King Avenue in Lebanon, Kentucky. All kinds of great craft pours, including many concoctions put together by master crafter Ray Osborne. He's also assisted by his beautiful bride, Beth Osborne. They are the newest and brightest in micro craft breweries in good old Kentucky. Make sure you go out to their Facebook page. You can easily find it at Good Buddies Brewing Company. And don't forget, when you're in town on the Bourbon Trail, to stop by Good Buddies Brewing Company. Again, located at 120 West Martin Luther King Avenue, Lebanon, Kentucky. Good Buddies Brewing Company. We're happy to have you as a sponsor right here on Two Shots on a Barrel. Pretty much comes a time in everybody's life where you need a good attorney. And Two Shots, we recommend the law office of Don L. McCauley.
Absolutely. If you want somebody to fight for your rights, man, I couldn't think of anybody better.
Criminal law, bankruptcy, you name it, Don McCauley, that's who you need to call. It is 692-0784 right here in Lebanon, Kentucky, located at 144 West Main Street in Lebanon.
We love Don McCauley, and you will too.
Well, J-Bo,
Wow, that was quick.
what'd you eat, a Reese cup or something?
Yeah,
or
man, that was my lunch.
Reese cup. You are also, we are drinking, not we, you and me, because Will is on official duty.
He's on the clock.
He's the director of the Marion County Event Center and Sportsplex. Marion County Event Center and Sportsplex. But you're drinking some Bottled and Bond Heaven Hill. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm loving it. You know what, though? I like it more that we've been sitting on it than when we first busted open.
Okay.
It seems like it's got a little different flavor, but I'm loving it. But you know what? When your boss came in here and did a show with us and talked about the Sports Event Center.
My wife came in here?
No, the other boss.
Okay.
He had no problem drinking bourbon. So you're doing it right, man. You just sitting here and you're staying off the bottle.
Yep.
But old Judge, he likes his bourbon too, doesn't he? In Brooklyn.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Brooklyn likes her bourbon too.
J-Bo, I got a bone to pick with you, though.
Oh gosh.
It was about a year ago that I was taking my dog out for a walk.
And you fell off the porch?
And I fell, and it could have been horribly bad. I
didn't.
Just missed hitting my head on a concrete step by, literally a hair. Mm-hmm. And after you checked, I will say you did check to make sure I was okay.
Yes.
But after you did that,
He laughed at you.
I laughed.
yeah, and he put a video, a TikTok thingamajiggy
Yeah.
to Ice Ice Baby.
It was perfect.
Hey, that's how you know you're real friends.
That's right.
But this is where I'm going with this conversation. About 2 weeks ago, and we love Brooklyn Lee, the director of the Marion County Industrial Foundation.
Sweet girl.
She tackled somebody inside of Good Buddies.
Oh, she did.
And you had the video in your hands and chose not to put it out as a thing like you did with mine.
Well, the thing is, if Brooklyn was sitting in that bar stool and she got tackled and fell to the floor, it would have been out there. But the person who got tackled might not have wanted to been on the receiving end of this. This is a sweet lady minding her own business, drinking her own beer.
Got tackled.
Hang on.
And got tackled.
A sweet lady got tackled?
She's so sweet.
Man.
She is so sweet and kind to everybody she meets. She's like Mrs. Claus. She's just so nice. And so out of respect of her.
That's why you did it.
That's why I did
You had
it.
zero respect for me.
And
Zero.
your video was all alone then, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Will, he was wearing his wife's shoes and jacket.
It was 7 o'clock in the morning.
He deserved this.
It was snowing, ice, and my little puppy had to go out.
All right, yeah.
I'd take one step, everything's good, and that second one, it didn't take
Didn't
too
work
well.
well.
And I completely, listen, it hurt so bad.
Look.
Like, I was literally hurting for like 4 or 5 months after that.
Oh, easily. Yeah, but look, It was such a great video. I had to share it with the world. I did not want to be the only one that saw this video, so I was like, let's put some music to it and let the world see it.
Ice Ice Baby.
And so, you know.
That's how you know you're real friends.
Yes.
Before we get into the thing that you guys are working on together, I was wondering, you know, talking about hostage negotiation and compassion and learning, you know, to really, for folks to understand and have empathy. Could you do some training with Jabo and Sabo so that they would be show compassion to me? Can you do that, Will? Because they need it.
No, I can't. It doesn't.
He's tried over the years. We've done multiple events together. He just can't help.
You know, I said earlier, you know, I went from having no job to like 4 jobs. So, you know, now I'm doing jail training for KCO, which is Kentucky Association of Counties. So, I go to these different jails, and they bring all the regional jails, and I teach them how to de-escalate. I might be able to give him.
That's what he needs to learn how to do is de-escalate.
Some de-escalation. Because I've known Jeremy for a long time, and I feel like he could use some de-escalation skills.
A lot of de-escalation.
I just
skills.
need to come up with some ways to avoid certain people, and I wouldn't have to de-escalate. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's not the way it works, Jeremy.
Gosh, I know.
You know, the world is the world.
Yeah, well.
You can't. You run into who you run into, and sometimes you have to be the bigger person and be able to.
I know, man. I know. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this project that you guys are working on together. Before
This is not just a project. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to Marion County. Right, Will?
Let's get into some de-escalation.
Let's de-escalation 101.
Look, if
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how this came into being. A couple of great ladies from this community approached me, probably first of this year, right after I retired, and said, "Hey, Will, you've got some time now. We would like to do some things to help out the local art center. If you're not from Marion County or the surrounding counties, because really, you know, Kentucky Classic Arts is a regional thing now. We have, you know, there's people from, Nelson County. There's people from Springfield. There's people from Taylor County. People from Louisville that come down here and are in these theatrical productions and the events that they have at Kentucky Classic Arts. Robin Humphreys, the executive director. She's an executive. The executive director of Kentucky Classic Arts. She does a great job. If you haven't been to one of their shows, you should really make it a point to come to one of the shows. And these two ladies, I won't mention their names because I hadn't talked to them to make sure it's okay.
Who is it?
Then just let Jeremy do it. He'll do
Suzanne
it.
Turner and
Yes,
Jane
yes.
Higdon.
Wonderful people.
Yeah, wonderful people.
Yeah,
they
are.
came to me and said, "Hey, Will, would you head up a committee to help us raise money for the art center?" So I was like, "Sure." I'm on the board of directors for Kentucky Classic Arts. I've been in several shows, and it's really it's a special place in my the art center here is it helps a lot of people.
Were you like an artsy guy before?
He was a bouncer, dude.
I was.
I'm talking about before his bouncing days.
No, I was like in high school and stuff. I had fraternity brothers in college that did stuff at Western, but I was never an artsy guy. In fact, my wife makes fun of me because I said my kids will never be in any of those kind of shows. And now I'm like, I wonder if there's a way I can make my not make them, but
Convince.
Coordinate my kids being in swim, volleyball, soccer, and being in a production of the next show that's coming up, Something Rotten, which I haven't figured out yet, but I'm still working on it. No, I was not an artsy guy. I took my son, my oldest son, Will, who is a junior at the University of Kentucky, an aerospace engineering major, which I'm really proud of.
It's way beyond me and you, J-Bo.
I love that kid, man.
He talks to me about stuff he calls from school, which I am so thankful for. When your kids get to college and they still will call you, I feel like you've done something right. So he calls me and talks to me about stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about, like thermodynamics, and you just
can't help you, son.
Yeah, so I just let him talk, and I sit there and smile because I'm so proud of him,
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, Where was I? What were we even talking about?
Well, we're talking about this event that you guys are in.
Oh yeah, I told you to stop me if I get off on a tangent. But the Kentucky Classic Arts Speakeasy Soiree. We're opening up, and Jeremy's on the committee as well. On January 17th at noon, we're having a grand opening for the Blackbox Theater in Prohibition 101, which is a bar and a small theater and a venue at the bottom of Kentucky Classic Arts in the old Lebanon High School. So Suzanne and Jane Higdon came to me the first of the year and said, "Hey, would you be willing to chair these committees?" And we came up with several different ideas, and we had a hugely successful wine tasting back in the spring. I don't think either one of you all attended, but I'm talking over 200 people were there.
We did. The bank did sponsor that one, Jay.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, Mr. Ferris, the bank did sponsor that one.
So it exceeded everything that we could have thought that it would be. We had a lot of the wineries donated wine to us. Had over 200 people to attend. It was hugely successful. So the second part of that is, 6 months later, we wanted to do a bourbon tasting because where are we, Jeremy?
Bourbon country.
We're in bourbon country. So we wanted to do a bourbon tasting and in conjunction with this speakeasy soiree because we're it's got a 1920s feel to it. We're wanting people to dress up and we're wanting people to have fun and come do a bourbon tasting because does anybody know what happened on January 17th?
Jabo,
right there, it's on the wall, man.
That's when Prohibition went into effect.
Yeah.
January 17th.
Man, I was thinking January 17th last year. Wow, what was I doing? I think I was still hungover.
Yeah, you're on this committee.
Yeah. That's from that. You were hungover for New Year's.
I was like, just getting better.
So Robin came up with these great ideas, and we're trying to make them come to fruition. So I've recruited Jeremy to be on the committee, and
That's had a hard time getting people.
we had a lot of people, but unfortunately, I was the only male.
Yeah, I got you.
So I was needing some male. I want a companionship on this board. And Jeremy's brought a lot to the committee. You all have so many connections in the bourbon industry and to the just the culture, the bourbon culture.
Yeah.
That I thought it was important that we have somebody that that had that insight into what we were trying to do. And since he's been on the committee, he's came up with a lot of great ideas. And we just had a meeting this morning, and we were all sitting there, and Jeremy came up with this idea, and we're all like, why didn't we think of that? But it's just one of those things. You're looking at him like,
hey, look.
Hey, it's surprising, isn't it?
Dang.
Crazy, man.
Dang.
I'm telling you.
So Robin was like, "That's a great idea. I can't believe none of us thought of that."
I can't believe Jeremy thought of that.
But hey, when you bring people from different backgrounds and different expertise, and that's what's important when you have a committee like that, to be able to all come in and work together and have all these different experiences. And he brings experience with the bourbon industry and the bourbon culture to the committee and
bar visits.
Yes. Which we talked about today, which was part of his idea. But
so it's the first annual KCA Speakeasy Soiree at the Blackbox Club, January 17th.
Yep.
7 to 12
Right.
p.m. or a.m., 7 to midnight. First of all, whoever created this little flyer thing that's out on social media, I love it. A lot of things going on, presented by our friends at ISC.
Right, Independent State, Kentucky
So
Cooperage.
that's how fortunate are we to have ISC right here in our backyard, but they're going to be sponsoring it. A lot of cool things.
Hey, but I will say, not to interrupt you, but Kentucky Cooperage has been a big sponsor of the arts in Marion County for a lot of years. There are a lot of sponsors in the county that have recognized Kentucky Classic Arts, but Independent State, even Kentucky Cooperage, has been one of the biggest. So
tell me what. First of all, people, if they're interested in getting tickets, I'm assuming they can go to the kyclassicarts.com and be able to secure those. I know you guys are still recruiting folks that will purchase whole tables for this event. But what can I? You guys were recruiting me to get a table. Mm-hmm. What you know, if
Well,
you're
Jeremy
if you're-
said he expected you to get
I
it.
know.
I think you're making a difference.
Well, but somebody's got to talk to me besides Jeremy. If somebody is thinking, all right, tell me more about this event and why would I want to get a table? What can they expect that night?
That was the first question they asked me when the first day. What would you expect if you went to this event and you paid this price? I was like, I want my own waiter, waitress with an open bar at this price.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get a table,
You get a table for 4.
and I'm going to have my own waiter or waitress.
Yes.
Yes.
They're going to be serving me
Whatever you
drinks.
Well, we've got our bartender, and I'll be one of the bartenders that night. Also, there's different as the night goes on, because it's 5 hours. As the night goes on, different things are going to happen. We've got Mr. Steve Skaggs. I don't know if you're familiar.
I
with
know
him.
Steve real well.
Steve is a wonderful pianist, but I didn't know that he was like a jazz pianist. So he's going to be there playing like 1920s ragtime tunes on the piano.
Oh, nice.
We've got several people. We all laughed this earlier today, not to give a plug, because
Right.
but you know we've got a lady that that has some affiliation with a local business, and she's a great singer apparently. And I don't know her, but she's a great singer, and she sings that kind of music, like 1920s ragtime music. And Jeremy knows her, and he goes, well, we could get so and so from this business, and so we all laughed because
You wouldn't think the two would coexist.
Was that your idea this morning?
No,
he had several good ideas.
I was on fire. I had that cappuccino was rocking this morning. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, the School Grounds coffee cappuccino.
Oh man.
But it's so we're going to have that. We're going to have a bourbon auction, and Jim, we've got some great auction items, things that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Nope.
Some of them, they're online at Kentucky Classic Arts on the Facebook page. We had Amanda Knopp come in and take really nice photographs of all the bottles, so we could advertise. We've got bottles signed by Bill Samuels.
Nice.
Maker's Mark here in town, they donated 3 of the Greats of the Gate bottles to us, the new ones, the yellow and black. They donated 3 of those, and Bill Samuels.
Fred Noble.
We've got Kenny Childers got us some Fred Noble. We got 4 really nice bottles of Jim Beam products that are signed by Fred Noble. We're working with different distilleries trying to get them to buy into what we're doing and support the arts in Marion County in the region. So, I think it's going to be a great event. If you're a bourbon lover, if you like the culture, and that's what this podcast is, 2 shots on a barrel.
Yep.
If you're really into the bourbon culture and you just like the people, which I do, a funny story. One of the last times I trained for the FBI, we were at Churchill Downs. They rented out Churchill Downs.
Wow.
And we had the whole wing of Churchill Downs, because we do like scenarios, and like we put the trainees through, it's pretty intensive training, and they had the main guy, the big hostage negotiator guy from Washington D.C. He comes down once a year and he evaluates the Louisville field office in their training. Well, he happened to be at this one. So he's talking to me about bourbon because he finds out I live right in the middle of bourbon country. And he goes, hey, you want to go with me tonight? And I'm like, of course I do. Why wouldn't I go? You're the head of the special response team for the FBI. That's a guy you don't get to hang out with every day. Why wouldn't you go? So he and I go to Neat. Not to give a plug, but
Give a plug.
Little bourbon bar up in Louisville. I think it got rated the #1 bourbon bar in the world.
Wow.
Recently.
Wow.
They've got all this crazy stuff, and then I've never been to a bourbon bar. So the guy's name is Tim, but Tim and I and the lead agent from Louisville, we went to this bourbon bar, and we're sitting there, and he's talking to me, and he's talking to me about Maker's Mark, and he was like, hey, they've got this wonderful product. Have you ever tried it? And I'm like, no, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Well, as the he works in Washington D.C., he can't afford it, so he buys us a shot of, and we're sitting there talking. So we go over to the bottle bar, where you can buy the products. We're sitting at the bar. We go over to the bottle shop, and he buys $5,000 worth of bourbon that night.
Holy cow!
And I'm like, dude, do you do this? And he goes, no. He goes, I fly everywhere in the world. Everywhere I go, I fly, except when I come to Kentucky. He said, I drive from Washington, D.C. to Kentucky. That way I can haul my stuff back with me.
Awesome.
He said I buy it every time. And it's the culture.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, he showed me pictures. He and I sat there and had this great conversation about bourbon, something that's made right here at home.
Oh.
It's a culture, and it's one of those things that if you don't know anybody, you can go into a bar and you can strike up a conversation with the guy next to you about bourbon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
One of the things that you're going to be doing at this event, it's again,
Sorry, it went off.
that's okay. January 17th, which is coming right up.
Yes.
7 p.m. to midnight. You talked about the live auction that you're going to have. Also, a bourbon pool. What is a bourbon pool?
planning on having a bourbon pool. You pay a price. It's like you pay, and I've been to a couple. You pay a price, either $25, $50, whatever it is, and you basically get a number, and whatever you pull is what you get.
Oh,
And there's some good
It's
cool
kind of
stuff.
like bourbon bingo.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
You also get a special bottle to go home with, right?
Yes, yeah. Everybody that buys a ticket gets a special commemorative bottle of Maker's Mark. It'll have a Prohibition 101, which is the name of the Blackbox Theater down there in the basement of Center Square. And I took Jeremy this morning for a tour down at.
I didn't want to leave.
Yeah, it's got a false door, like you're
Just
Yeah.
like you want.
Yeah.
You walk in the door,
Yeah.
and you're in a library.
Yeah.
And it's a false door, and you open up the false door, and you're in the bar.
It's amazing.
Wow.
So,
It's amazing.
that's kind of what we're. It's the 1920s ish theme
Yeah.
for the Black Box Theater.
Yeah.
And the bar is really good. You know, it's some of the shelving, some of the mirrors and the shelving. I was telling Jeremy when I was giving him the tour earlier. Robin Humphreys bought from a man that it came out of an original bar from the 1880s, I think.
No way.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Like the glass is leaded, you can tell it's a really neat place.
I did not want to leave. I'm telling you, I could have just sat there and just looked at everything for another hour.
Yeah, Jeremy was like, "Why isn't this open all the time?" And I'm like, "Well, it's not really what it's made for, but
Yeah.
we could get to that
Yeah.
eventually."
Yeah. So, again, January 17th, 7 to 12, you can go to kyclassicarts.com. This sounds like a phenomenal event. It's also going to include some live music. You mentioned Steve Skaggs. Steve is one of those guys that's been in a lot of plays
Right.
at Angelic Hall. It's going to live music.
I like it. You called it Angelic Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hors d'oeuvres, which just
With some very
sounds fancy.
some
Interesting story about. Do you know how it became Angelic Hall?
Tell me.
Mr. Boswell
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Independent Stave, Kentucky Cooperage. He was a huge, and when I say huge, he was a huge sponsor when they were doing the renovation project. My wife Melissa was on the committee to revamp that
Yeah.
Lebanon High School. They were getting ready to tear it down.
Yeah.
And it would have been such a waste because it's a great facility for the community. But when they were trying to raise money, Mr. Boswell came in huge. And when I say huge, I mean huge. And so they told him, they said, what can we do for you? And he was like, well, can I name the theater? The theater, part of it. And he named it. And if I'm wrong, then somebody is obviously going to correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure he named it after his mother. Angelic Hall is Mr. Boswell named it that in memory of his mother.
Oh, that's cool.
That is.
Didn't know
Which
that.
not a lot of people know that. There's
Right.
a big brass plaque on the back, and it talks about who it's named after and stuff. But he was the one that actually named Angelic Hall. So,
Wow.
which I think is pretty neat.
It is neat. I didn't know that.
So one of the other things y'all are tiny. You already mentioned the Prohibition theme. You're going to have the best swanky 1920s attire award.
We planned on doing this in October, Jim. We wanted it to be like a costume, like everybody could dress up.
Yeah.
But coming off the heels of the wine tasting, which ended up being a lot bigger than we thought it was going to be, we were like, we need a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we pushed it out, and so we want people to dress up in the flapper gear and in the black suits with the pinstripes. Obviously, we know that not everybody's going to be able to do that, but that's what we want.
Right.
I mean, I think it will add to the ambiance.
Don't look at me, dude.
You're not going to do this?
I'm going to do my best. They told me
you're on the
gosh.
committee. All the committee members, I'm sure,
Jim,
are expected to
they
do
have
that.
flip-flops?
That's what I'm talking about.
No, you cannot wear J-Bo.
I'm just worried about
You cannot
pants.
wear shorts and flip-flops to this event.
The pants, gosh.
I mean, you cannot do that.
They told me I just wear a black suit, so I'll figure something out.
Yeah, black suit is a black suit at a minimum.
But look,
Yeah.
at 5 hours in pants. Oh,
Yeah, I know.
God.
I know it's difficult. January 17th. Again, go to KAYClassicarts.com. Get your tickets. And it's going to be a great night. What is this? What is this? It's the bee's knees.
I don't even know that.
Back in the day, I guess that was a big saying. The
Was it?
bee's knees.
I didn't want to be the stupid guy in the committee say, what the heck is the bee's knee? Is that a drink?
Now, there is a drink called the bee's knees.
Is there?
And that's going to be one of the featured drinks that night.
Okay.
It's a bourbon drink. It's got some honey in it, I believe. It's why I guess the reference to the bees, but they're gonna serve some 1920s drinks are going to be the featured drinks. And anytime we have an event down there, we try to have specialty drinks. Just recently, we had the Springview Hospital Christmas party down there, and in the past we've had some bank Christmas parties and some different stuff. So we always try to cater to the clientele that we've got in, and Kenny Childers is the main bartender. He's the one that comes up with everything because Jeremy's very familiar with Kenny. He brings us drinks while we do our 24-hour food drive with the Knights of Columbus.
He's a big Cosmo guy.
He's a big Cosmo guy, which I'm not a huge fan of, but Kenny's Cosmos are pretty good.
Real good.
He always comes up with the menu, and he does some research and finds out what they do from the main drinks from the 1920s.
Yeah.
And so we'll have a special menu that night. And getting back to the tickets that you talked about earlier, you can buy a ticket, and don't let this be, I'm going to tell you what the ticket price is $101 for Prohibition 101. But with that $101, you get, it's going to be more food than you can ever think about eating. We've got Wanda Buckler and Gwen Arts. Robin Humphreys and the KCA staff are going to do their charcuterie board. Did I say that right? Charcuterie.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was lucky if I did because I can't ever.
Yeah, I'm glad you tried instead of Jeremy.
Charcuterie.
I can't say that word.
Yeah,
It won't come out. But Robin brought a charcuterie board
Don't even try it.
in the other day for one of our meetings.
Oh, it's outstanding.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I mean, it's
Not even right.
Robin and Nanny and Mallory and Nikki and all those ladies that run Kentucky Classic Arts. They do these phenomenal charcuterie boards. So they're going to have that. There's going to be a dessert bar. So your $101 is going to get you way more than you could ever. If you went and bought all this stuff separately, it would be way more than $100. But then you can buy there's going to be an opportunity. You can buy a table for $500. Mm-hmm. And that's 4 tickets, and you get a seat. You're going to have a table in the middle of the ballroom. And then for $1,000, we're accepting secondary sponsorships. Independent State Kentucky Cooperage is our main sponsor, but we're going to have other sponsors who will be listed in all the programming and in the signage. For $1,000, you can get your table, and you can get your own private waitress or waiter, and it's open bar.
Wow.
You don't have to get up at all.
Never have to get up. You can just sit there and enjoy everything that's going on.
So one of the slogan is dress up, drink up, dance up, eat up, bid up, talk up.
Yep.
At the first annual KCA Speakeasy Soiree.
Yeah,
It's going down.
What's soiree mean, Joey?
I think it's fancy party.
That's awesome. Yeah. Great event. And so for $500, I can get my own table.
You can get your own table.
Four people at the table. Yep. Drinks, food all night long, dancing. I can dress up in 1920s attire, and I can have a great evening.
You can, and we were talking. The people in Marion County, not being from here. When I was growing up over 50 miles away over in Columbia, I didn't know anything about Marion County. I just knew it was a big Catholic community.
Right.
The people here are so great. They really are. I mean, the people in Marion County, we just like everywhere, we have our differences, But at the end of the day, people in Marion County really come together.
I will second that. Yeah.
And our the event that we had for our wine tasting in the spring was off the charts. I couldn't have dreamed that it would have went off this well. And I'm hoping that the Bourbon Soiree, the Speakeasy Soiree, will go just as well, because the people here are great.
Well, listen, don't think about it. Just buy the tickets.
Just buy the tickets.
They're going quick.
Well worth your money.
Yes.
How many people can fit in the Speakeasy?
Think about it, Jim. 101.
Oh, 101.
We're going to sell 101 tickets.
That's impressive.
We can fit more than that down there, but we want to. It's not an exclusive event. Anybody can buy tickets, but we want to limit the tickets. So if you actually come there and you're at this event, you can say, next year when it rolls around, we're going back to the Speakeasy Soiree because it was such a great event. And it's something that the Art Center wants to do for the community. It's also it's a fundraiser for the Art Center, but it's something that the Art Center wants to do for the community to bolster Marion County, bolster Lebanon, because we've already got people that have bought tables that are from Florida.
Wow,
this is a real deal, dude.
There's a lady that works here in the community. Her mother,
I know her mother, and I know who you're talking about.
is part of a bourbon club in Florida at the Jimmy Buffett retirement community.
I know,
which I'm a parrot head, so I love it. If my wife ever wants to put me in a retirement community,
that's where you're
y'all
going.
make sure that she sends me to Margaritaville retirement community.
And let me tell you, they like to party.
Yeah, so they've already bought a table. They're coming up. They're gonna be up here. They're coming. They've made plans to come up, and she's bringing ladies with her for this event. I think it's going to be it's one of those things that you don't want to miss.
Yeah. Again, go to kyclassicarts.com. You can get your tickets. January 17th is the date. It is the first annual, which is historic, to say I was at the first one. But
especially if it's successful and we have a second one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Jim, so what's the odds of you coming and being there with us?
Well, I'd say pretty decently good.
Good.
Pretty decently good.
I like the way you think. I'll be there. He'll be there.
I will be there.
He's going to be there working. I want to work, but I can't promise much if I'm drinking for 5 hours. I don't know how it's going to end up. So
you might work early.
I could do that. I could do that. But listen, this is so it's an upscale, wonderful event. You're going to have a password to get in. It's just a big-time event that you don't want to miss, and you don't have to drive to Louisville to go attend it. It's right here in our town.
Well, and here's the thing, though, that I think we'll hit on. The money is going for what is a tremendous thing that Kentucky Class. I mean, listen, the plays that they put on are top freaking notch.
If you've never been to any of the productions that they've had here, they're like you would see in Louisville or
Absolutely.
Lexington. I mean, they are exactly, not, I won't say exactly, but they are to the quality that you would see in Lexington and Louisville and those places on the Broadway people are pretty exceptional.
Yeah.
We have exceptional talent in this area too.
So a couple of things talking about Kentucky, and I know, Will, you've been in a lot of performances there.
Those weren't as good as the others, but
one of the I can't say best performances I've seen at Angelic Hall was one that J-Bo was in.
Oh, God.
And played Cupid, was running around in his little diaper.
You laughed me off stage that night.
Shooting little arrows at people. That was, let me tell you, that put J-Bo in a completely different context than I had ever known J-Bo.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Robin, it's on you, girl. You caused that.
Just so you know, J-Bo, the folks there, the fine folks at Kentucky Classic Arts, if there ever is a play called Dumb and Dumber, we are going to be in that.
Well, I've never been so humiliated in all my life. That's why I haven't done another show since. But, something about wearing a diaper and an old woman wig and dressed like Cupid, it just didn't go over well for me.
Oh, gosh. I laughed. I laughed uncontrollably.
She had me to come in to do a one-line part. I ended up coming in doing like, you know how this. She gave me a roll that I was like, come on, that's too much.
Yeah.
And she'll make somehow.
She has a way of doing that, man.
She got me good.
She talked to me for a year.
To try to get you in
Try
there.
to get me in a show. 12 Angry Men. My son was taking guitar lessons there. And she talked to me for a year, and I'd sit out there on my phone and I'd ignore her. I didn't even really know Robin. I'd be like, this crazy lady's wanting me to be in the show. And finally, I talked to my wife, and I was like, hey, Robin from the Art Center wants me to be in this show called 12 Angry Men. There's been a movie about it. I said, what do you think? And she was like, why not?
Has Melissa ever been in a performance?
She is not. She enjoys coming to watch me make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
But she's
not ever done that.
She's never been in a performance, I don't think. Maybe early, but nothing.
I've been in not any at Kentucky Classic Arts, but I've been in one. And truth disclosure, I still have nightmare dreams that I'm in some play. I mean, just within the last couple of days, I've had this dream that I was in a play.
This is fresh.
I was in a play. I could see the program, and it has all the people that are in, and my name was in there, and I absolutely did not know the lines, and I was in my dream freaking out because I was going to have to be in this play, and I had no idea what the lines were.
Hey, 12 Angry Men. Opening night, because I'd never done it. We talked about it earlier. Growing up, I never did anything like that. I knew people that did, but I'd never been in anything like that. She talked me into it. We rehearsed. Opening night of 12 Angry Men, I broke out in shingles.
Oh, gosh.
Across my chest.
Oh, my God.
And as they say, the show goes on. The show must go
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
my God.
So I sucked it up, and the whole run of 12 Angry Men, I was broke out in shingles.
Did you have like all kinds of lines and stuff you had to remember?
Oh, it was...
He was loaded.
I was one of the main characters.
Holy crap!
Which I was the angriest man of all out of the 12. I was the angriest man. I was the meanest. So that helped. I was in pain the whole show.
Oh,
my
God. They hurt so bad.
I was scared to death.
Oh,
I think I made up all my lines. I don't think I remembered any of mine.
so we've done a few like MC events and the one thing that I can say that helps is the lights are coming in and you can't see people.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
sit
a
in the front row, and that's basically it.
Yeah, that's a good
Unless
thing.
Jim's in the front row laughing uncontrollably.
Oh.
I was
at you.
going to say, the last show I was in was, you'll see, Dearly Departed, and then we did the murder mystery for the wine tasting. And a couple of my friends came in from out of town, and they got tickets early so they could just sit in the front row.
Oh, gosh.
Jamie Moreland and a couple of guys that from the Danville area, they always buy tickets for come and support me, and they sat in the front row just so they could.
That's
and you just have to look over their head, because I know that they're going to be making faces But it's community theater, which is that's one of the great things.
Jim didn't make faces; he just screamed, laughing the whole time.
I mean, it was funny. You were in a diaper going around shooting people.
I probably would have laughed too.
Oh gosh! Speaking of nightmares,
all right, get those tickets. KYClassicarts.com.
Yes, man.
January 17th, 7 to midnight. It's going to be a great event. Man, it's been fun hanging out all night.
I appreciate the invitation to. This all came from our 24-hour food drive. I mean,
that's good
us
stuff.
just sitting around talking.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Now listen, if you're looking for a good cup of cappuccino, go see School Grounds Coffee. All the lovely people there working will take good care of you. And man, the lattes are great. The coffees are great. The food is even better.
Food's really good too.
All right, it's going to do it for the show. Till next time.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Are you looking for a clean, fun podcast that you can relate to? Well, we've got it for you. Cross the Line. The 1524 originates out of Indiana. Former high school rivals. Now our buddies sitting around a speakeasy bar talking about common day events, common things. We keep it light. They keep it easy. It's a good time. Check out Cross the Line. 1524. You can find it on all the podcast apps and players. You can also check them out at crosstheline1524.com or check them out on Facebook. Cross the Line 1524.
Lisa Kearns doesn't want to just sell you a house. She wants to find you a home. If you've been thinking about making a move, she'd love to help. She knows you've got many choices when choosing a real estate agent, but not all agents are the same. Her clients are the heart of her business, and she takes pride in providing exceptional service, knowledge, and transparency while helping you navigate the real estate market. With her by your side every step of the way, she can assist you in real estate needs that make buying and selling a smooth, enjoyable process. Call Lisa Kearns, Realtor with Exit Realty Homestead, 270-402-4036.
For all your full-service auto repair needs, it's Big O Tires, 2 locations, Bardstown and Lebanon, J-Bo.
That's right. Billy Taft will take good care of you. Man, if you need new tires, new windshield wipers, whatever, Billy Taft has everything you need for your vehicle.
2 locations. If you're in town on the Bourbon Trail and tires messed up, whatever the case might be, you can stop in at Bardstown location or Lebanon. Give them a try. Billy Taft's the best in the business.
That's right. We love those guys. That's Big Old Tires of Bardstown and Lebanon.